Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast that covers everything old school RuneScape. Alright, so up first on the Knock It, we have, of course, the first thing we always talk about, which is going to be account and video updates. I combined it because it just
we
seemed...
always talk about both at the same time anyway.
Yeah, I was like, might as well combine it. So we're going to give you an update on our accounts, where we're going with that, and of course we have a ton of content coming out, so we'll tell you about that. And the second thing we're going to talk about is going to be the equipment rebalance again. So
fifth time we're talking about that.
Yeah, so back on that topic again, as if the month-long debate wasn't enough. And so the third thing is there's not a game update this week, but
boo.
Yeah, unfortunate, but not to say that there isn't a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Just no official game update or changes or anything like that. They just don't have one and said that they'll be back on April 7th. So I guess we can look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the last couple things we're going to talk about is going to be the wilderness poll. And they did add a couple things that aren't necessarily updates, but kind of updates on stuff. So they added a wilderness poll, the art competition finalists, and we're going to cap off the episode with a little bit of a Q&A from Reddit.
Awesome. Cool.
Yep. So before we jump into anything, though, Michelle, how you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yep.
So this week I've just been working on getting my fishing up again. So Tempros was cool. If you didn't see, Rob actually did a video where he did 100 kill count in Tempros, and he got all this cool stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do 100. I did not get cool stuff. I didn't get any of the rare drops. I didn't get the tackler. I didn't get the fish thing. Definitely didn't get the pet. So
nice.
That was a bummer. Right now I'm just barbarian fishing, as always, while we record. But I am up to level 88. I'm 70% of the way done. And I just need to get to 91. So I'm getting like closer and closer all the time.
Gonna get that diary soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm really close to getting the Mortania diary. And I also am right now working on 100 winter talk kills. Just because he was doing Temporos and I was like, I want to do something. It's the opposite of water. It was fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm at like 70 right now.
I feel like you didn't plan that. The water and fire thing. That's something you just thought about.
No, I thought of it whenever I first was saying it, because we were talking about Temporos and I was like, you do Temporos and I'll do winter talk. So I was like, fire. Okay. I just never said that out loud. But yeah, I'm at like 70 kills right now, so hopefully that'll be done and published by next week, maybe? Because we have a lot of other stuff coming. Yeah,
we do. We have a ton of stuff that's, just in the pipeline, going through like all the Outriders stuff that's coming out. If you don't know, Outriders is coming out tomorrow from when I'm recording this, so it should be the day that, right now, essentially. I should be recording, or I should be live on a live stream right now.
Go check it out
when this video comes out. So
first live stream ever.
Yeah, so go check it out if you want to see Outriders. If not, you can still ask me like RuneScape questions and stuff like that. I still play RuneScape even though I'll be streaming Outriders. So
I'm the main RuneScape one here lately.
I did just kill 100 Temporo, so that's kind of I play the game.
Yeah, how many wyverns are you at?
Still like 400 or 500. How many Vorkath are you at? What are we bringing up at this point?
Okay, you know what?
How many pets are you at? Like,
that's hurtful.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff.
You should quickly tell them like a little rundown of what Outriders is. Because we mentioned it very casually and people might be like, what?
Yeah, so I guess if you haven't been keeping up on games that just released, then
or on
you
our
probably
YouTube.
don't, or our YouTube, then you probably don't know what it is, but it's just a third-person looter shooter. So if you've ever played The Division or Destiny or Gears of War, it looks like those games and plays similarly, or like Borderlands, just essentially getting as much loot as you can to kill big bad monsters.
Awesome.
Yeah, so pretty...
we have a few videos of those already.
Yeah, we have quite a few videos on that, and we also, don't worry though, I'm still putting out RuneScape videos.
Yes.
I even still have like Valheim videos, so I still am putting out all the content in the world.
And we need to work on our second week of the free-to-play to pay-to-play competition, because he's been distracted with Outriders. I've been distracted with the winter taught and trying to get my fishing up. So we haven't really been working on that.
Yeah, it's not something super urgent. We've been working on other RuneScape videos essentially as well.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm playing, I'm always working on a video, but it just hasn't been that.
Yeah. And I'm usually busy fishing or working on the other podcast that I'm in that I actually have to research several hours for every week.
This one I researched for several seconds.
Yeah. No, yeah, my other one is based on like real life stuff, so I need to make sure it's all accurate.
The equipment rebalance is as real life as it gets.
Okay, that's as equal to me talking about John Doe's this week.
Yeah.
On the other podcast.
So, yeah.
How's your account been? I didn't ask.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got like quite a few levels from doing those 100 Temporos. So I made the Temporos guide, and then I did the 100 KC at Temporos, which ended up being like almost 400 rewards, which is pretty good. And from doing all of those videos, I ended up getting, I think, like 5 fishing levels. So I went from like 72 to 77.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
really good.
Yeah, it's actually a really good experience. And
yeah, I think I got up a couple levels just there. Well, I think I got 2 levels doing my 100.
Yeah, so I guess the too long didn't watch of the Temporos videos, if you missed them, it's great. The rewards are kind of lackluster, but you get a lot of experience, so it kind of makes up for it. And if you're expecting rewards on par with Wintertot, don't.
Wintertot's the best.
If you're expecting experience on par with Wintertot, don't.
Oh no. It's really nice making this Wintertot video because after like 60 something, I'd already made over 1 million experience fire making.
Yeah. And
I was trying to keep track of how much fire making, wood cutting, fletching, like all those during the entire 100. And yesterday I accidentally turned off my computer.
Nice. Yeah.
And Rob was just on his, and I was like, no. And I was trying to cancel it, and my urgency to click the cancel button, I clicked shut down anyway whenever it froze, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But I realized I could watch the videos and maybe look at my first one and see my starting level and just do the maths.
Yeah, that's what I did here, because I saw that I started at like 970k experience total, and then I ended at 1.5 mil, so I just simple math like that.
It's more annoying, but not too hard.
Yeah, it's not going to be exact, but you'll still get a general idea.
Yeah.
And I guess it is kind of comparable, Temporos and Wintertot, because like Temporos is like top 3 best experience per hour as far as fishing goes, and so is Wintertot.
Temporos, I've noticed, for me at least, like I don't get the 70k an hour that they're advertising. I get the same amount as Barbarian. Cook? I cook the first round only.
Oh, see, I mean, I was able to get 65k an hour.
Not cooking.
Not cooking.
Yeah, maybe I'll try without cooking next time.
Yeah, I don't know. You get a lot more fishing experience just because cooking takes a long time. So you get like 3 or 4 like inventories worth of fish experience. So it actually ends up being a lot. I'm
just worried about not getting enough points because I feel like Wintertot's the same. I always fletch in Wintertot because whenever I don't like cook and I don't fletch, I barely get enough points to pass. And some rounds I just don't get anything. Like on Wintertot, if I don't fletch, sometimes I just won't get a prize.
I found that as long as you pay attention and are attacking Temporos when he's vulnerable, you get points pretty reliably. So,
unless they finish him off the first round, and then you won't,
you kill him the
which
first
happened
round,
to me a few times.
Yeah, there's probably like no chance unless you're cooking that you're gonna get enough points on the first round.
Exactly. That's why I've just been doing the first, but I could just do it like half of the first and then be done.
Yeah, you could.
Just enough to earn the 2,000, right?
Yeah, it's just 2,000.
I just need to barely get 2,000 and then just hang out.
Yeah. I think honestly you could get to the 70k an hour if you had a crystal harpoon. But I haven't done Song of the Elves, so I couldn't try it. And
I just haven't felt like buying the armor seat or whatever.
Yeah, I mean you could try an infernal harpoon because it'll automatically cook some, which will mean even if you don't cook any, you'll get more points.
I did consider that, but it has
it's only
charges though.
It doesn't matter though.
I don't like stuff with charges.
I mean, you can
I have not used my Blood
though.
Fury at all that I got. I think I used it for Skatiza once.
Yeah.
And
but that's different. The Blood Fury, because the Fury costs as much as a Smoldering Stone.
That's true.
And then the Blood Shard itself costs 3 times what a Smoldering Stone is. So it's I don't know. It's not really that comparable. The same. And I mean, if you're going for experience, then I would probably try it. It would definitely make it easier.
True. Maybe I'll try that whenever I am all done with the Wintertot and I just focus on this only.
Yeah. But we totally got sidetracked, but that's like, I guess, our account updates. We've just been fishing a lot, and I mean, that's pretty much it.
Starting fires a lot.
Yeah. I guess we have been doing like quite a bit of free-to-play stuff. So, I mean, we kind of progressed those accounts, but not that much. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for content. Like I said, I've been kind of focusing a lot on Outriders, so it's kind of unfortunate that if you don't play it or aren't interested in it, because I have a lot of stuff going out on the YouTube channel because it's getting released today. So unfortunate timing if you hate it. But like I said, we're not doing any other content. It's just not going to be as focused
yeah.
as other stuff.
And it's
so
just the person who's doing RuneScape content right now, me, is doing something that takes several hours and a lot of time. And I also, like I said, I'm doing my other podcast. I'm actually doing 2 episodes of my other podcast this week, so I've just spent a lot of time doing that as well.
Yeah. So we have a ton of excuses, but also a ton of content. So I mean, you're gonna get this.
You're gonna get content. It just might not be what you want.
No, you are gonna get RuneScape stuff. I did plan it out purposely so that you'll get this on Thursday, and then you'll get another RuneScape video on Friday. And I might even like add another one. So hopefully, if everything works out, you'll still have plenty of RuneScape stuff even while I'm focusing on Outriders. So
yeah, and hopefully I can finish my winter tot today, and you can get that going soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know how long it'll take to edit.
We're definitely not forgetting all of our RuneScape homies.
Yeah.
And
don't worry.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as account and video updates go. I mean, obviously you already know this if you follow us on Twitter or if you follow us on YouTube. So this is just not news for anyone like that.
For the very few people who listen to us through Spotify and Anchor only.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah. And as always, if you want to see this on YouTube, we put all these episodes on YouTube. So if you want to listen or watch through that, that's cool too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be about it. So moving on to the next thing on the Knock It. Which is
Don't knock it till you dock it.
Yeah, let's not include that. So the next thing is going to be the equipment rebalance.
Wow, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's almost as if we talked about this just like a month ago, because we did, because it was a huge ordeal and then they canceled it. That was like our first
episode.
Yeah. So if you don't know, we'll catch you up real quick. There was a ton of proposed changes for combat, nerfs, and buffs to a lot of different gear that they are calling rebalancing. I don't know what they're balancing around, but no one knows. Either way, it was such a catastrophe and had such backlash that they decided to postpone the update. And now we're recognizing the postponement in current, future, both at the same time. And I'll explain that in a second.
That was a weird sentence.
Yeah. So so essentially we're getting the rebalances now.
Okay.
But also in the future. So they're breaking it up is the premise of this.
Okay. Your sentence, I felt like that one meme where it's like the woman looking up and doing all the math. And I was like, what is this? What?
Yeah, just be Rain Man.
Yeah.
And so essentially what they're saying is that they're going back to the rebalancing. So they realized that in the past they went about it the wrong way. And so
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Everyone was really upset.
Yeah, to be that mad about it. Definitely went about the wrong way. And so they're saying that they want to talk about the rebalancing more as they move along with it. And so they're going to go through with the first patch that they pitched, which is to change. Here's the changes, actually. So changes coming soon. Many of our proposed changes were well received, and we want to release them as soon as possible within the next month, to be exact.
Oh, no.
And they'll be unpolled, but they were originally outlined as the way they were originally outlined. So they're saying that they're rebalancing plate armor, spears, maces, hostae, and warhammers. They're making Basilisk Knights lose their special attack, although it will be retained by the Sentinels, so the Basilisk Sentinels, where it will no longer being broken by auto retaliation. Okay.
I've never done this. So
yeah, I've never done Sentinels, so apparently there's something weird with auto retaliate. But either way, they're removing the special attacks and keeping it to the Sentinels. And then they also remove the prayer bonus from the Twisted Bow. And they're making the Dragon Bone necklace, Bone Crusher necklace changes. They're putting those in, which they changed the stats a little and made them so that they're not trash, because they used to require like an 80 prayer or an 80 prayer level.
Wow.
And on top of that, they didn't give you any bonuses besides the extra prayer, and that you could use it as a necklace. So now it essentially has the stats of a glory, and it gives you the Bone Crusher effect, which automatically turns your bones into buried bones, giving you the prayer.
In Koran?
No, just giving you the prayer experience. If you use it in Koran, then it gives you prayer back.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Yeah, no, I wasn't referencing Koran. But yeah,
also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't like the Twisted Bow one. Twisted Bows are like a bill. I feel like you should get as much bonus as possible in it. I wonder where they're taking me the prayer.
I have no idea
That
why they're
seems
taking
weird,
away the
right?
prayer. I mean, it
'Cause
seems
it's
like
so
an
expensive.
inconsequential nerf,
I mean,
though.
it probably won't be a big deal because people who have enough gold to buy the Twisted Bow are probably just chilling.
Yeah, people that have it probably have a 99 prayer, so...
It still seems weird, though.
I mean, it's... Like I said, it might just be an inconsequential nerf. Like, it's like... I mean, cool that you're nerfing it, but it's also like...
Why?
And also, like, who cares? That's like... I don't know. It would be the same as nerfing, like, the crush bonus, if there is any, on, like, a scimitar. It's like... Okay, I get it, but
It doesn't matter.
No one uses crush on scimitar. Like I said, I don't even know if that's a thing. There probably isn't
That's
a crush
the only
bonus.
thing I use.
There probably isn't a crush bonus
I'm
on
pretty
scimitar,
sure
but
there's not.
that's like the equivalent. Like, it's like, okay, cool, but who's like
It doesn't matter.
getting
basically.
a twisted bow for the prayer bonus? No one.
Well, I guess it's just a nice little bonus.
Yeah,
Hence
exactly.
the word bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. I mean, overall, it just seems stupid. Like, I feel like the only reason they're doing that is because maybe they want to come out with content that gives you a really big prayer bonus
That's
for your ranged
equivalent.
weapon or something like that, because maybe they want to do something, but it wouldn't be nearly as good as the twisted bow, and so they want to make some like
Twisted bow
diversity or
works.
something.
Well, at least the Twisted Bow will probably be cheaper now.
I doubt
If
it.
they introduce something new.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like 10 mil cheaper, so I still can't afford it. But
you know, 10 mil closer though.
yeah. So so they're saying that before this, they said that they were keen on getting all of these out at once instead of breaking it up how they are now, because they wanted to get the combat achievement system out before or after the rebalance. So they wanted to push the rebalance through, even though it was obviously in a terrible state, so that they could get the combat achievements out.
What are the combat achievements? Did we talk about this before?
It's something that I've been talking about in the past, and it's just exactly what it says. It's just it's a list of achievements that you get for different combat related
but will it be
things.
like on the RuneScape interface, or is this like a Steam thing? Is it kind of like the diaries that you check stuff out?
No, it's more like diaries.
Ooh, I'm excited. I love
but
checklists.
it's just strictly for combat.
I like that.
And I mean, they've talked about it a few times, but obviously we don't have any notes on it, so I can't say exactly what it is.
I know it sounded familiar. I just couldn't remember what it meant because we talk about so many things on here.
Yeah, so it's essentially how you have like PBs for like bosses and stuff like that, but like more extensive. Like it'll have like more achievements for each boss and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
And so, that was the reason for the entirety of that entire balance thing being so extensive, and why they wanted to push it through regardless of feedback and stuff like that.
What we think.
Because they wanted to get to the combat achievements, but obviously they were overstepping because their balances were terrible. And so...
Are they still going to do the dragon hide?
They will, and I'll get to that in a second.
I thought that was it.
No, they also go on to say that while they promised to fill the equipment gaps created by the changes eventually...
That's not very promising.
That's what they said before, which is why a lot of people were like, all right. They said that nerfing items without making clear when they would be replaced is understandably made some players nervous. And they totally think that's fair, but by trying to deliver everything in one batch, our approach became a little all or nothing, which is what we were just talking about. It's obviously a terrible approach. And so what they're thinking is that their rebalance survey was also too broad, and that they'd like to pare it down and be more specific. So that's why they came to this conclusion of doing everything in chunks.
Okay. And they could just measure how it goes.
Yeah, and so they have a general schedule here. They said that they're going to be splitting the equipment rebalancing into 4 releases, allowing each aspect of the project to be a bit more, or giving it a bit more room to breathe. And this should give us a little bit more thinking space and allow us the time needed to talk things through and get them right.
Okay.
A lot of words for that. But essentially,
very wordy sentence.
Essentially, they're just saying that they're breaking up the really long rebalance that they had before into 4 chunks that they're going to spread out throughout the year.
Awesome.
And what we were talking about just now is how coming next month, ideally, they're going to be changing the stuff that people didn't really have a problem with, which is the armor plates, Basilisk Knights, all the stuff we just talked about. So you can expect to see that relatively soon. And so the next thing that they talked about is the ranged meta changes. And this is something they wanted to get done before the combat achievements, of course, which they hope will be by the end of June. So you can expect this ranged meta changes before the end of June. and that's going to be the proposed changes to the blowpipe and the crystal armor. So this time around, they're coming at it from a different angle, they said, with a focus on feedback as well as fine-tuning the plan. And there are definite issues with the current meta, and together we'll find out a solution for these. So super broad, and they don't have any actual saying about how they're going to adjust anything. But I mean, it's been known since the beginning of time, literally since it's been released, that the toxic blowpipe is overpowered.
Yeah.
So
I need to get my fire cape before June.
I mean, you can do a melee fire cape if you really want, because your melee stats are also way better than your ranged. But either way,
they're similar.
So I'm guessing they're gonna massively nerf the toxic blowpipe to where it should be, and massively buff the crystal armor so that it's used by more than one player in the game.
So if I want to get crystal armor, I should get it soon before it gets more expensive.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably,
because I do have all the shards. I've just been too lazy to go in. Like,
you could probably stock up on a ton of crystal armor seeds, and as soon as the buff the changes come out, probably make a couple 100 mil.
Wow, maybe I'll do that.
There's no buy limit on crystal armor seeds.
Really?
No.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's one of the few things. And so, I guess if you are interested in making money, buy a million crystal armor seeds. But either way, I suspect they'll just be the standard nerfs and buffs. Everyone will get mad, but they'll push it through anyways because, I mean, they should. At this point, they should have done that a long time ago. But yeah. So people are going to be mad anyways, but whatever. And that should be in June. And then it says, later in the year, as part of our upcoming Wilderness Changes project, which is expected to be released sometime in July. So the last one was June, this one's July. It'll include adjustments to the Dragonhide armor and Din's Bulwark.
Okay.
Yeah, so it says in the coming weeks, we'll be sending out a series of wilderness and PvP related surveys to help us understand how people are feeling on various issues. Mm-hmm. And they want to keep an eye on the message center, the news section of the website, and our social media platforms for more information. So I guess, they're going to send out surveys, let them know how you feel about the changes, because the Dragonhide armor change, I think, was like kind of garbage, but the Din's Bulwark was really garbage. They made the Din's Bulwark essentially unusable because it's only used in PvP or really niche situations currently, and so they made it so it wouldn't even want to be used there. So I don't know about that. The Dragonhide armor changes.
That's a bummer.
They weren't the worst changes because, I mean, Dragonhide armor is extremely strong for how cheap it is, especially. But like I said, I don't PvP, so
I just use it if I have to go and do anything in the wilderness anyway.
Yeah, I think honestly they should have had like a better like intermediate, because like it's just like the difference between Dragonhide armor that costs like 10k and Carol's armor, which costs like 2 mil. It's such a big difference for not a big difference in like stats right now, that they should honestly have, like, whenever they do the nerf, they should have the nerf to the Dragonhide armor and then just keep Blessed Dragonhide armor as an intermediary, because
it's more expensive.
It is more expensive. Like the boots alone are like 700k for a lot of them. So
that should definitely stay higher then.
It should. Yeah.
It should be equal to like the price.
And you can only get Blessed D-Hide from treasure trails, so it's not like you can farm them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they were still going to nerf Blessed D-Hide, and it's like, do you want everyone to hate you, or...
The answer is yes.
Yeah, so it's like, it'll be interesting to see what they end up going with there. So if you PvP, you should let them know on what your thoughts are on their social media and stuff.
Yeah, we don't know what's good and not.
Yeah, and so tiers will be... They're talking about tier rebalancing. Tiers will be addressed last, though we still intend to do it to happen.
Cool
we do still intend for it to happen this year. Don't worry, I learned to read yesterday.
Oh, great.
Although there is a lot of community support for this week, and it's something for this work, and it's something the team feel passionate about. There's currently no clear solution for pure accounts built specifically for the tier 75 meta in mind. Oh, that's what they mean. I was like, I didn't even know what they meant by tiers.
Whenever you first said tier, I was thinking tiers of Gothics. And I was like, oh, is it going to get better?
Oh, that's funny. I was thinking about world tiers and Outriders.
Oh, yeah, very different
Says,
things.
aside from introducing new weapons in the gaps created, we want to get this right, but this is not as urgent. All right, so they're saying that all you peers aren't as urgent. So
dang.
They're still like, they probably don't even have an idea for what they're going to do for this, honestly.
That's crazy.
But they're saying that they don't want to change the tier 75 meta because I guess there's obviously a lot of like level like 75 magic peers and 75 strength peers that they would ruin the meta for if they just changed the requirements for all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they don't know what to do there, which is obvious. And the last thing is player suggestions. There's many other player ideas for buffs or nerfs, which our previous equipment rebalancing plans did not address. And they want to reopen the floor for discussion so they can not take all of your, good information. If there's one thing we found the first time around, it's that not having too many discussion points at once is not the best approach. So I guess overall, I could say this in one sentence that'll sum up this entire thing that
page.
This entire page of like words that they decided to go with is that they are going to push through changes that they think is necessary, and they want your feedback for the stuff that is in between.
But they don't really want your feedback.
Yeah, it's like they do and they don't.
They want to hear, but it's not going to influence them too much.
Yeah, and they're going to be breaking up the patch cycles so they can be better informed when they do push the patches through. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to let them know what you think, obviously hit them up on all the different platforms that they said, and that's about it.
I just saw a sneak peek of the art at the bottom when you were scrolling up, and I can't wait till we talk about that.
Yeah, so we're about to move to the next thing. So number 3.
My face was like,
yeah. So they did put a little survey here talking about how there's no game update. They're preparing for the upcoming long public holiday. I don't know what holiday that is. I'm not in the UK.
Wait, what's it called? Long public?
Long public? Literally the words long and public.
What does that mean?
A national holiday.
It is? Well, do we get to celebrate it?
Not long public. Are you insane? They're saying there is a public holiday that is long.
Oh my god. I thought you said there was a public holiday called Long Public, and I was like, that's super weird.
No, I'm saying it's a long national holiday weekend.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Jesus. All right. So yeah, they're having a long national holiday.
Maybe instead of questioning you, I should have just looked at where you were reading.
Yeah, maybe.
The way you were saying it sounded like how someone says like Christmas.
No,
you were like long public.
No, it's the way you're interpreting words, which is crazy.
I think I just really wanted another holiday event.
All right.
So I was just desperate. I was like, long public? That's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, no. So they said they'll be back on April 7th. Which we said already, but with that, they'll also be bringing the collection log improvements and more Pole 74 changes. So Pole 74 was like 75 years ago at this point.
I thought it was 76.
Actually 74, which is why it's called Pole 74. And so, so they'll be bringing some improvements, so that's cool. Collection log is neat. If you don't know, go get the collection log if you like keeping track of like mobs you've killed and stuff like that.
And everything. You can keep track of clue scrolls and what cool drops you've gotten. That's what I use it for.
Yep. So if you want to see how many more kills it takes to not get the pet, then you can keep track of it there.
Devastating.
Yeah. And they also have a live stream. It's going to be over before this podcast goes out. And also they have poll 75 suggestions. So it says the next big poll is going to be tackling PVM improvements. That's actually really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. And you should expect a poll blog detailing all the potential changes in late April. And we'd love to share any ideas for changes that could sneak into the poll blog.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. A lot better than 74. I think 74 was okay, but it was actually so long ago that I don't remember what 74 was totally about. But I know it was some of the stuff that they already added to the game, such as like blood builds and stuff like that. So overall, I think it was probably just okay.
I remember that, the Demon Bane stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, totally forgot.
Overall, I think that was okay, but I'm a lot more interested in Pulse 75. PVM changes would be nice. And then there's, like they said in the other post, they're adding a wilderness change survey. So they said in preparation for the upcoming wilderness changes project, they're eager to hear your thoughts. So they have prepared a short survey that covers everything about the general wilderness, Rev caves, as well as the Wildy Slayer caves. I don't know why I said that weird. Wildly. And says, we really appreciate your feedback as we build towards the project. And it starts in May, and you can find the survey there. They have a little link there.
Woo!
And so I won't be... I think that's just one of those surveys that I'm not going to be participating in. I
Yeah,
mean,
it doesn't
I'll
matter to
look at
me,
it.
really.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
check
look
it
at it, but
out.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I think it'd be unfair for us to like
Yeah.
add our feedback because we
Yeah, I
don't
never vote
participate
on
in it.
Iron Man or PvP stuff because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to vote for something and then everyone actually hates it.
Yeah,
and I had no
exactly.
idea.
Whenever they're all like, "Oh, should this bank be available to like Ultimate Iron Man?" I'm like, I literally don't
Right,
know.
I don't know what you guys want.
Yeah. So, moving on to something that we all can
Appreciate.
which is the art competition for the banana hat.
They
So
look
if
great.
you don't know, the other week they had a banana hat competition.
Banana colored hat.
Yeah, you had to make a hat in the game, potentially in the game, and it had to have the color of a banana on it somewhere.
I wonder why they decided it has to be the color of banana.
I have no idea.
Is it like a spring thing?
Ooh, maybe it's gonna be like a reward from a monkey quest or something.
Ooh, okay, that would be really cool.
Yeah. But either way, so the first one, there's 4 competitors still in the ring.
The finalists.
They have their hat in the ring, if you will. So the first one is going to be a banana wizard hat.
It looks sick.
Looks just like a banana peel. That is a wizard hat. The second is going to be a banana sun hat, a little more real life looking.
It is. It's more casual for those hot days out farming.
Yeah,
you know?
It literally looks like something an English woman would have in her garden.
Yeah.
And I actually
Nice
saw
to
this on
wear in your
Twitter. It
home.
looks really nice.
It does.
And then the next one is
Oh my god, I love it.
an amazing hat.
Oh my god, I love it.
It's a crab hat that has 2 bananas in his hands.
Crabana. Crabanana.
Oh my god, it says right there. Yeah, Crabanana.
Yeah.
All right, so that's amazing. And the last one is my favorite.
Wait, real quick though. It looks like the crab might move the bananas from his claws back and forth.
Yeah, it seems like he's like juggling.
Just,
not juggling so much, but like moving.
Waving them around.
Yeah, back and forth.
And fourth is the best.
And the fourth
is
my favorite by
Of course,
far.
this is your favorite. It looks
and
like
it's
you.
A yellow duck hat.
Just sitting on your head.
So the duck is just sitting like a good little ducko on top of your head.
Oh my god, I love
it's amazing.
it so much. I love the crab, but actually I like all of them, but I might have to vote for the duck.
Yeah, I like
just
them all,
because that's
honestly.
what I'd want in real life.
Yeah.
A duck.
I think honestly the best one for the game would be the first one, the banana wizard hat.
This is for cosmetic purposes only, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
For Fashionscape, I would pick the duck one, obviously.
Yes.
And it's also the only one that is banana colored that is not banana themed. Actually,
which I kind of appreciate.
No, the banana sun hat is not banana themed.
They did call it banana in it.
Yeah, true. This one is just yellow duck hat, so
I love it so much.
I like this one because it's also unique. All the other ones are kind of like similarly themed.
That is true.
This one's just straight up a duck.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Second choice would be the Crabanana.
Yeah.
Third choice, probably the wizard, and then the sun hat.
Yeah, me too, honestly. But yeah, if you want to take a look at them, you can head over to the RuneScape website.
And if I remember, I will upload pictures on Instagram and Twitter because they're amazing. Good.
And if I remember, I will throw links to this down in the description of the YouTube video. So if you're watching there, you can check it out.
Both of us forget everything.
Yeah, probably. So it says the voting opens today, which is and runs until Tuesday, April 6th. So you actually have quite some time. You have another week of voting. And tell them which one's your favorite, and might get put into the game.
What are you gonna vote for? The duck?
Yeah, probably the duck.
I might vote for the duck too.
Yeah, it says that you can cast your vote through your account settings menu, and so it's just like a poll in the game.
Yeah.
And so you can do it there. Just log in, do it, and yeah, I'm excited.
This is just like the Clan Wars design. Or not, what is it? The new clan design in the lodge room or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like that all over again where you show me all these options and I'm like, but I want all of them.
Yeah.
Can we just push through all these hats?
Yeah, you can actually there's a 5th option where you add all of the hats. Yeah.
I feel like they're taunting us by showing us all 4 and they're like, but choose one. I'm like, but I want a crab and a duck.
Yeah, you can have a craduck.
A craduck.
Yeah. But that's gonna be about it for the updates this week. Like we said, there wasn't an update, so we were just covering a few things that they mentioned, mainly being the rebalance. Again,
mainly the hat,
Redux,
I'd say.
The hats and the balance redux. So this time around, to cap off the episode, we're gonna do another Q&A. I think we really liked the last Q&A.
We did. We loved giving her uninformed answers.
Yeah, exactly. I picked some that are gonna be specifically for you as well.
Yeah, what I'm reading right now, I
this
don't know.
one, I don't have a ton of information on it, but
neither do
I think there's been a few posts about endgame stuff, so I wanted to bring it up. But these are all pulled from Reddit, so if you don't know, 2007scape is the RuneScape subreddit, old school RuneScape subreddit. So you
Yeah,
can
I
go
didn't know
there.
that at first, and it was really annoying trying to find it.
Yeah.
Searching like OSRS, RuneScape, and I'm like, where is it?
Yeah, exactly. So 2007scape, and every week they have they have like a posted thread of a bunch of questions that people ask, noob questions, veteran questions, everything above.
All the questions you could ask.
Yeah, so I pulled a few that hopefully we can help on. And the reason I pulled this first one, it's about raids and group bosses, mainly because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it on Reddit recently. There's one really big post that says that it was talking about how like a lot of guides say that you should have like these be like overqualified for a lot of these bosses, and in a lot of cases you can do it with like, you know, minimum stats and still get by, which I mean I think is obvious.
You'll
for
survive,
people that have
but will you
done
live?
bosses, but it's like, do you want to do it efficiently, or do you want to like struggle every single time you walk in there? But with that being said, if you are interested in doing any group bosses, this question says, is there a CC, a clan chat for learning group bosses or raids, or an up-to-date place where you can find various clan chats in general? And this person gives the same advice that I would. And I don't know of any clan chats, but there is a We Do Raids Discord. It's literally
Awesome.
the same way that you think it would be spelled. It's We Do Raids, all one word. You could just like Google We Do Raids Discord and it'll be there, and you can just click on it and get the invite. And there's a lot of like super well-informed people there, and that's generally a hub for people that want to do group content, especially raids, obviously.
Have you been in it?
I have, and I've looked around, and it's very active, and people seem
Okay, good.
like well-informed and generally friendly. Just, I mean, general manners, like do your research, don't go in there asking like what gear you should have for raids. This is like obviously well-known stuff that you
get blocked,
be somewhat prepared for. Like, you know, you need like certain gear, so
check the wiki first and then go ask them follow-up questions.
Yeah, exactly. So you can go there and you can find mentors to help you. You can pay for a run if you're really desperate.
Whoa.
But like stuff like that is, I mean, it's a
do
community game, so
eventually.
you should seek out these hubs of information and veterans that are willing to help you. So
yeah, I forget that there's stuff like that because I never get help from anyone in game.
Yeah.
I just figure it out, or I just get really sad that I can't figure it out.
Yeah, so you can find like a group of people, and I mean, hopefully they'll take you on and do some learner runs. Usually learner runs, you don't get any loot or any cut of the loot, but it's just for you to understand how it works. And I mean, the general post that I was talking about earlier is don't be intimidated if you have only 85 of each melee or 85 of each combat, and the recommended is 90. It's not that big a deal. So
that's pretty close.
And you don't need like Dragon Warhammers, BGSs are fine. So it's just in general, you might not need the best stuff. Just really the important thing is to like find groups of people to do this endgame content with. And you might struggle for a few hours, but you'll get it eventually.
That'll be helpful because eventually to do my Corinne, like finish my Corinne Elites, I'm going to have to do the Chambers of Zarek. So I'll definitely need help with that one. I'll probably just pay them to carry me because just hearing about it, I'm intimidated. I don't even know what's in there.
Yeah,
I'm just scared.
I've never even looked at the prices, like gold wise.
That was probably so much.
Like you're essentially paying for learner runs. And so I wouldn't even begin to know how much it would cost, but
I'm guessing millions.
I honestly probably wouldn't pay for it if I was recommending anything. I would just try to find people that are nice and willing to like give you a hand. Not even that, just like explain to you what they're doing, because I think once you have the information, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess instead of paying, you could just be like, oh, can I go with you guys? And
Yeah.
then just go, and they're like, oh my god, she sucks. And I'm
Yeah,
like, well, I'm already here. What you gonna do now?
Yeah, a lot of like experienced players or like streamers do learner runs for free, so
Yeah.
you can just tag along.
I'm just scared it'll be like Barbarian Assault whenever we first started. There's some really hostile people over there who are like, oh, you suck. And it's like, duh, it's my
Yeah.
first round. What do you expect?
Yeah, Barbarian Assault is very...
We were very nice. Whenever people were like, I've never played before, me and Rob would be like, you can join us.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly was...
It was fun.
It was fun most of the time. And it's just like that. Like, you'll find players like us that were just like not down for people being rude and like hostile and stuff like that. Like, we just like wanted to get to the end. It didn't matter how long it took. Just finishing it was fine.
I remember doing it once, and there was this one guy who was like being super rude and like telling another person in our group that they sucked and stuff. and they were like, all right, kick out this person, otherwise I'm leaving. And they like left it, and we're like, okay, well, we're all just gonna sit here and wait for someone else to join then. And he was like, well, let me back in. And we didn't want to let him in, and we made him apologize to the first person before we let him back into the group.
Wow.
Don't be rude to people.
Yeah, in general, just be nice. We're all people
Yeah.
playing a game. And so for the next question, it's asking something that actually both of us know. So they said, does anyone know if Temporos rewards are tied to your fishing level when you obtain the reward, or to your fishing level upon fishing for the reward? And it's based on when you actually fish up the reward.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, you could do 1,000 Temporos, and then once your fishing gets to 80 or 90 or whatever, then you could fish up all the loot, and you'll get higher level fish. So
yeah, it affects the fish, but doesn't affect the rare drops.
No, yeah, the rare drops are totally fine. The majority of fish you're gonna get, if you saw my Temporos video, like the loot video, actually the majority of my loot was from the fish, so I would have had a higher amount of money
per hour
received per hour and per game if I had a higher fishing level. But there was a couple that I couldn't get. Like I couldn't get the sea turtles because I wasn't high enough fishing.
Oh yeah, you couldn't get the sharks either, right?
No, I got the sharks, just not the sea turtles. So yeah, simple question, simple answer. Just be higher level and you'll get better rewards at Temporos whenever you fish them up. You can save them, but honestly, I don't know if it'll really matter.
Yeah, and it's only the fishing part. So if you don't care about the fish, if you're just trying to get the rare drops, just do it whenever.
Yeah,
you don't have to wait.
It doesn't matter. So I think that's only if you're really, really trying to min-max things.
Yeah.
So this is actually a good question. And it says a noob question about more expensive upgrades. I don't know if I should say these people's names or give them credit for the questions, but I guess I will. Jiffle Whip. That's actually a great name.
You didn't say anyone else's name, but the one you do say is Jiffle Whip.
I know. I would say the other ones, but I've already exited out of them.
They are gone.
Yeah. So I guess from now on I'll say the names so that they get credit because they're the ones asking the question. So it says I'm a mid-level and was looking to upgrade my dragon crossbow up to Armadale, but the increased stats is only +6. Hardly covers the price tag. I feel like I'm missing something. When I use a DPS calculator, there's pretty much no change. And that's kind of like a general theme as far as endgame gear goes. This first person says that the main advantage is extra range. And while that's true, in general, everything is just more expensive exponentially so as you get to the end game gear.
And it's not significantly different as it is at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Because like if you go from a Dorgashin crossbow to a rune crossbow, that's
insane.
That's a huge difference. And it's like 30 or 40 levels difference. But it's only going to cost you like what, 20, 30K?
Yeah, not much.
The difference between a rune crossbow and an Armadale crossbow
millions
is
tens of millions, right?
Yeah, it's like 20 plus mil, and honestly it's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, I would say it's only worth it if you have a lot of extra gold, because of course it will make a difference in the long run having something that's just a little bit better, but it's not worth it that you should like spend all the gold that you have and not upgrade anything else. Just save up and then get it later on if you feel like it.
Yeah, there are things that are definitely bang for the buck, like a Bandos Godsword.
Yeah,
is a huge damage increase because it strips the enemy's armor with its special attack. So the upgrade over that would be a Dragon Warhammer, which is dozens of millions of gold, while a Bandos Godsword is like 5 million.
Yeah.
So there are bang for the buck stuff like that.
But this is not one of them.
Yeah, this is definitely not one of them. So you're going to have to be really choosy once you get towards, as a mid-level player, getting towards and working towards those end-game items.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't initially buy the Armadale at first until I got more gold, because unless you have a lot, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's really not.
You just need to wait till you have so much that it doesn't seem as expensive. And it doesn't make that big of a dent.
A really, really good example would be the difference between Dragon Boots and Primordial Boots.
Oh, which I didn't trade up for so long.
Yeah, Dragon Boots cost a couple $100,000. They give you good stats. They give you good strength, melee strength. And the difference is that Primordial Boots give you a little bit more of everything. Just a little bit more. And it costs like 20 plus mil, 25 mil, 30 mil. Depending on when you buy them. And for that price, honestly, you could go and fully upgrade your POH to like max, like 84 for the same price as that very small increase in boot.
Yeah.
So definitely pick your fights when buying stuff.
It'd be worth it eventually. I would just save up till you have a lot, because don't spend all your gold on it if you don't have a lot of gold.
Yeah. when 30 mil is not that much money and that small incremental boost is worth it to you, you'll know.
Because I think it will definitely make a difference over time when you have it.
Yeah.
But not if you're going to be broke.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't even buy arrows to use it.
Yeah. And this one's actually for you, this next question.
Okay.
So it's coming from Narsuak.
Aren't you glad we're saying the names?
Yeah, Narsuak. How do I know if a shooting star has landed, and how do I know specifically where it is? So
yeah, so you just, what I did, because I don't have a maxed house or anything.
Yep.
I just go to the party house world, go to somebody's house. All the ones like on that billboard advertisement thing, they'll have max houses. You could go and check their telescopes, and most of them should have, it's the mahogany's the highest one, right?
yeah.
So a lot of them will have the mahogany telescope. Make sure that's mahogany. Go and look through it, and it will say a message like, oh, landing in Misthalin in the next 9 to 11 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the smallest window you're going to get, is just 2 minutes in between. And you must stay in this same world, because if you switch worlds, I didn't know the first time I tried, it lands in different places at different times.
Yep.
So stay in that world, and if you pull up on Wiki, there's a list of the locations and where they land in certain regions. So, for example, like in Al-Kharid area, there is 7 different places it could possibly land.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was, if you have enough time, like look up where it is, buy or go grab teleports in the bank from all these places, and choose like what's the most annoying one to run to, and that's where I start. And I just wait till, if it was 9 to 11 minutes, I wait till it's been 11 minutes. And if it doesn't land there, then I just go and teleport one at a time until I find it.
Yeah. We also have a video
We do.
Documenting this entire process on the YouTube.
Yeah, the reason I specifically know that Al-Kharid has 7 is because in the video, it landed around Al-Kharid, and I did not get it till I went to the 7th and last place is where I found the shooting star.
You should definitely check the wiki, because there are predetermined spots that it can land. It's not random.
Yeah, I didn't know that the first time, and I was just going back and forth like a little detective in a Nancy Drew game, just like looking for where it could be falling.
Yeah, and on top of that, that's how you do it solo. But on top of that, if
if you have a clan chat.
Yeah, on top of that, if you want to be really efficient about it, there are clan chats for it. Someone here, Flyman1, recommended Star Worlds. He said it's pretty good in his experience. I don't know of any, so I mean, check that out if you really want to find some shooting stars.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it solo just because I'm not even high enough to hit the first 2 rounds anyway. So by the time that I get there...
It doesn't always land at a +9, though.
Oh, that's true.
But
the only few times I've done it, I feel like it has, because as soon as I get there, it's like right at my level. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, perfect.
So this next one kind of ties back to the one that we talked about one question back. This is from Reddit user Chuck is Satan. Mm-hmm. And... he says that he's got like a 40 mil bank, and that he's been saving to go from 54 construction to 83 for a boosted max house. But with gear so low, I'm starting to wonder if I should invest in gear, since I'm way behind for my combat levels. So, wow, he is combat 122.
Okay.
And
wait, is that supposed to be low?
Yeah, no, he's saying that his gear is low for his combat level.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's really high combat.
Yeah, so he's combat 122. And doesn't have 83 con, doesn't have a B ring. He says A ring, which I'm guessing is Archer's ring, Torture, a BGS, 77 Prayer, Arcane Scroll, and Anguish. So apparently he has Rigor already. So this dude apparently has been sitting in the Nightmare Zone for years and is just like hanging out in there. Because I don't know how you get to 122 combat without 77 prayer. I mean, obviously it's possible.
Oh, it's totally possible.
But it's kind of insane that you would just like not do prayer and then get like 99s on all your other combat. But
I mean, until like the last couple of months, I didn't use prayer every time I went places, because I was too cheap to buy prayer potions, which is funny, they're not even too expensive.
Yeah.
And I would just go, and once I ran out of prayer, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm done praying here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, in this case, I'm like a huge advocate for having your max player own house, because I've had it for quite some time.
He gives me grief for it all the time.
One, it's not going to cost this dude 40 mil. So he can do it cheaper than that, is what I would say immediately.
He's probably trying to do it the fastest
Fast
way.
way, yeah, exactly. So I would honestly bite the bullet and just do oak larders and dungeon doors, and that's going to cost you 20 mil. So it's probably going to cost you maybe 25 or 30,
Yeah.
but definitely not 40, especially since he's already 54. But either way, getting that out of the way, in this case, I would actually choose the gear over the player-owned house. Because you can just use party worlds if you really need to.
Yeah, that's very true.
And on top of that, dude, he doesn't even have a berserker's ring, which is only a few mil.
Whenever I was reading what he wants, I was thinking I would kind of just do both. Because you can buy, like, everything this person wants and still have millions left over.
Yeah, you definitely won't get a maxed house.
Yeah, but you'll get on the way there.
Yeah, honestly,
and
I'm
gear,
guessing
you could go and earn more gold.
I'm guessing this dude doesn't play that much because
he said he doesn't.
Yeah, he says, he says I don't use this account much, just for herb runs, a few herb runs per day, but I want to learn bossing eventually on this one. So yeah, in that case, you don't need a player-owned house to learn bossing.
Yeah.
I would honestly just, buy the stuff like the B ring, the archer's ring. Those are extremely basic things that are best in slot that are really cheap. So those should already be bought. The 77 prayer should already be bought. The arcane scroll is only like a couple mil. You could probably wait on the anguish and the torture. Honestly, you could probably get a fury and just get away with that for a couple mil, and BGS if you need it for certain fights. But honestly, all of that combined is probably like 15 mil. And
I'm thinking he should just go and buy all this gear. He's gonna have millions left after too, and then just go and do some like money-making ways that maybe aren't bosses, because he seems like nervous about it.
Yeah,
and just earn back money to work on construction.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you're not going to get to 83 immediately. It's going to take a while, but at least you'll make a dent in it. So whenever you have enough gold, it's not going to be 30 levels of construction.
Yeah, honestly, his combat is so high. I would just go do
like dust devils.
Something. Yeah, you can like go bursting. You can. I mean, that's not that much money, honestly. You can learn Vorkath. I mean, you can learn Vorkath with gear that's free.
They seem kind of intimidated about bossing.
But
that's
it's a
why
safe
I was
boss.
Saying, yeah, but it might be better to just not boss. I think.
Yeah.
Based on how they wrote it.
I don't know. The thing is, you shouldn't be intimidated by bossing as a player, in my opinion. Especially because bosses like Zulrah and bosses like Vorkath are safe. The only thing you'll lose is 100k if you die.
Every time.
It won't take you more than 10 deaths in a row to learn it. Unless you're like
me.
I don't know, unless you're looking at a different screen or just not paying attention. And I mean, sacrificing 1 million gold for the knowledge of Vorkath, which makes you 3 to 5 million gold an hour.
It's worth it.
It's huge. I mean, you'll be able to make that 40 mil back in a couple days if you get it down. I mean, I know from experience, so I would recommend honestly just learning Vorkath, even if it's just with a like a dragon crossbow or something.
Okay.
And the rest of the gear is free. You just need a salve necklace and then the void set. So it's essentially free.
That'll take a second to get, but yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I would just buy the gear. If your gear is, I mean, a B ring is like 3 mil.
I know they have a lot of gold.
Yeah.
So there's some things that even if you're working on construction, you can still spend 2 mil.
Yeah.
On a berserker.
I mean, if you get a berserker ring and imbue it, that's literally the best melee ring in the game. It's like, why do you not? How are you 122 without that? That means he trained for like dozens and dozens of hours.
Yeah. On
his melee without like the cheapest best in slot upgrade.
I mean, there's people who do it.
Obviously. So yeah, I mean, get your gear. Get your gear.
Get your gear in order.
Yeah.
Go use someone else's house if you need to.
Yeah. Houses are not the end all be all. They definitely help a lot though. This one is for you. And so it's going to be from Super Fuchi. There we go. Or super lucky. I don't know.
I thought
dude.
It was an F2.
Yeah. Either way, they have a question about farming. Cool. It says, I'm starting out and I noticed that when I plant potatoes and water them, it says a 2 out of 5 state, and I just added compost and it still says a 2 out of 5 state. Guessing I need 5 out of 5 state to be shown. What other things do I need to do to add to a potato patch?
Nothing. So the way that farming works, it's not based on what you do to it. It's based on how many like ticks and like was it like time slots almost?
Growth cycles.
Growth cycles. So if you go and like look at the Wikipedia page for all these plants, it will be like, oh, this tree has like 8 cycles of 30 minutes each. I'm probably exaggerating. I don't know exactly what they are. So if you happen to plant it right before it's going to go through this cycle, then it'll just automatically go to level 2. So the reason that this person is at 2 out of 5 is because they're probably just happen to be planting it at the exact time. It has nothing to do with you watering it. It has nothing to do with compost or anything. And if you do have a chrono seed planted, it could go and like skip different stages as well. So I've noticed with my seaweed, like underwater, I'll go and plant them. And because of my chronos, I'll plant them. And within 5 seconds, they'll be at level 4 out of 5. And I didn't do anything to them. It's just the way the cycle works.
And if you're newer to farming, the chronos plant is something you unlock later as your farming progresses. Yeah, you have to fight
Hespori, and I think that's level 75.
Yeah, so as your farming progresses, you'll understand what that is.
Yeah, if you're farming early on, save all your Hespori seeds because Hespori, whenever you kill them, it drops Chronos, which is insanely good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, honestly, just keep all your seeds, honestly.
Yeah.
In general. I mean, they're...
Spirit seeds, too, I would save because once you get high enough, planting those makes such a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I would sell the more expensive seeds, but, I mean, you can keep the earlier seeds and just use them to, like, get experience on, like, random, like, seed runs whenever you decide to focus on farming.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And there's the seed vault in the farming guild as well that you can keep all your seeds. That was really helpful starting out.
Once you unlock the farming guild, you should go there and put all of your seeds into the seed vault. It'll save you a lot of room in your storage.
And I think you could also put saplings in there too, so you can plant them and have them like ready and stuff and just waiting.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take the time. I always forgot to do that though.
It's really funny though. I'm thinking about the situation he was in because he's probably like planted the seed and was wondering what else he had to do because it starts out at 1 out of 5.
Yeah, I understand why he's confused.
He probably planted it and then like faffed about wondering what he has to do, and then it went to 2 out of 5. And he's like, oh, maybe it's because I added the compost.
No, yeah.
And then he's like, oh, dude, I'm trying to add all this stuff and it won't go to 3 out of 5. And it's just like, it's hilarious. He's probably just sitting there watering it over and over again.
It's just the growth cycles. Yeah. This dude just happened to luck out whether he was wandering around or whether he planted it right before.
He probably just took so long trying to figure it out that it went to 2 out of 5, and he's all like, all right, I did something.
Yeah, potatoes don't take very long to grow.
No, they don't.
All.
It's like 5 minutes per cycle or something.
So it's not based on anything that you do. It's just based on RuneScape.
Yeah. Some things take more, some things take less.
Yeah, and you could also go and pay the people like hanging around so they could protect it for you, because one thing you do sometimes have to do is go and cure your plants if they become diseased.
Yeah, that's only for trees.
Oh, that's only trees? No, herbs become diseased too.
No, I'm saying the protection.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only, I think you can only pay for tree protection. All the other stuff you have to check.
No, there's allotments like watermelons and potato cactus and stuff like that you pay too. I think it's just herbs that you can't pay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Herbs you can't pay.
But herbs, they do get disease, so you might have to use a cure potion on them. And they also have a really low chance of getting diseased if you use ultra compost, which I would always recommend ultra compost over any other compost.
Yeah, I think I use super, honestly.
You do use super.
I have the bottomless, and I think you can't remove them. You'll lose them all, so I'm just stuck with it.
Super is good if you're on like a real life budget. But
it's funny that I have super and I'm like 22 million farming experience.
Yeah. Ultra compost is like better. It's the best. You only have an 8% chance of your crop dying, and it only costs like 400 gold. So it's worth it almost literally every single time.
Yeah, but if you're a beginner and just planting like things that are more expensive than you're used to, it can seem like a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, honestly, if you want to level up farming, I can give you like 2 tips that'll get you to like 99 farming. Do your tree runs.
Yep.
Do your fruit tree runs. And if you like, I think you actually get a really good amount of experience just by doing like snakeweed, and you'll get a good amount of money if you just do like 1 like snapdragon or 1 renard a day or something like that. And you can actually get 2 allotments for snakeweed in the farming guild once you unlock it. And snakeweed can get you like 20 plus snakeweeds at any given time.
Wow.
And that's a lot of experience. So the tree runs will get you a ton of experience passively, and so will the fruit tree runs. And then if you need a little bit more, or if you're too early on to do a lot of tree runs, then get stuff that rewards you a lot of experience, like watermelons and snakeweed.
Yeah, and if you go on our YouTube, I actually did a video before on my dailies, and in my dailies, I show you how I passively was able to get to 99.
Yeah.
And mine is even easier than what Rob just said. I just did fruit trees, calquats, and one regular tree, and I was able to get to 99.
It should only take you like 20 to 30 minutes a day doing your tree runs.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll
Not
get
long
you
at all.
Once you get higher level, that'll get you like close to 400,000 or more experience per day just for 30 minutes of
that's
gameplay.
if you do all the trees. I was usually getting 100,000 per day whenever I was in the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
So it would just take me like 10 days and I'd level up. And I think I started taking it more seriously farming because I didn't really know about tree runs until Rob told me, which is funny because now I'm so much higher farming than you.
Yeah.
And I think I probably took it seriously like last May or April, I'd say. And by October, I'd gotten to 99.
Yeah. So you can definitely boost it up. But if you want to do it AFK, easy, not really thinking about it, tree runs are going to be, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Oh, and get your farming outfit from Tith Farm. It makes a big difference. I got it super late in the game, and I wish I'd gotten it earlier.
Yeah, I can't speak on that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go there.
No, I'm not going to go there, but you can if you want. And it's also a good way to get your seed pouch.
I have not gotten that, which I need to.
Yeah, you can get, it's the seed box and the herb pouch.
Yeah.
I would highly, highly recommend getting the herb pouch. I got it through Slayer, but you can get it through farming. As well. Yeah. And that'll save you a ton of room whenever you are on task.
Super handy.
Yeah. Especially for stuff like the stinky dudes.
The Aberrant Inspectors.
Yeah, the Aberrant Inspectors. Yeah. They drop pretty much only herbs, or if you're killing like Chaos Druids, they drop like only herbs. So that'll save you a ton of room.
Could not recommend enough. Get the herb pouch if you're able to.
The seed pouch, not so much. Not many things drop seeds, but the herb pouch is definitely worth it.
I would take the seed doing like the Dagonoth or something. Dagonoth kind of drop a decent amount of seeds.
Yeah.
Not enough to where it makes a huge difference in your inventory, but it would be nice to save a couple spots for food because those hit you with range and melee, so you have to bring food.
Yep. But that's going to be the last question in the Q&A, so...
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be about it.
So what are you going to be working on before next week's episode?
So before the next week's episode, you can actually expect quite a bit of RuneScape content on the YouTube. This episode is going to be on YouTube, and then hopefully there's going to be a really nice update for the next podcast. On top of that, there's going to be, of course, a ton of Outriders content. I might I'm going to try and squeeze some Valheim content in there. So if you like
any of those three.
Yeah, so if you like any of those, there's going to be plenty of content for you. I'm trying to not have like a content drought on any of the other games, even though my focus is on Outriders right now.
Good.
So yeah, hopefully we'll have a good amount of stuff for everyone out next week.
Awesome.
And I'll be live streaming Outriders all day tomorrow, probably even into the weekend. So if you want to stop by the channel, I'll likely be streaming on YouTube and Twitch.
Possibly with a brief break in between like 4 and 7, because that's when I'm going to be recording my other podcast with someone else.
Yeah.
Or you could just do it silently.
There's likely going to be some intermittent breaks throughout the podcast just for eating and
throughout the stream, you mean?
Yeah, throughout the stream, so that I can live the rest of my life.
There's still sustenance in your life.
There's going to be a lot of streaming and a lot of Outriders content because I want to try and blast through the game so I can get as much like good information out to anyone that's looking for it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So and if you want to play with me, I'll probably consider it after I finish the campaign.
Maybe not. We'll see.
So yeah, stop by the stream and you can see where I'm at. If I'm in the end game, I'll likely play with you.
Yeah, and we'll have a link in the description to our Twitch as well.
Yeah, Twitch and YouTube, you can find us there. So of course, that's going to be about it.
What am I doing, you asked?
Yep. Sorry, I was just staring at her.
I know. I was like, what does this mean? So I'm just going to be working on my fishing still. I'm hoping to get it up to at least 90 by next week because as you get higher, obviously it takes forever to level up.
Yeah, you're almost halfway there.
Yeah, I am. And I'm hoping I can finish the winter tots today or tomorrow. So hopefully that video will be coming to you by next week at least. Yeah. But I do have to, like I said, work on my other podcast too, so kind of makes it harder to do everything.
Yeah. So overall,
I
we
haven't
have
studied in a second.
overall we're swamped with
We
content.
really are.
But it's a good problem.
Even whenever I'm not working on this, I'm like, oh god, my other podcast.
Yeah. At least it gives us something to do.
Oh yeah.
So.
But we should be studying too, and that's not happening. But we won't talk about that.
Okay.
We're having fun.
Yeah. So that's going to be about it from us. I hope you enjoyed the podcast this week.
Yeah, and if you would like to check out any of our social media, we are Bunebape on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. But Twitter, we are Bunebape OSRS because that name was taken.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter if you want updates for when new content comes out.
Follow us on Instagram if you want memes.
Yep, and that's going to be about it. Like I said, of course, you can find all of our content like this podcast on YouTube if you prefer it there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be about it. I hope you all have an amazing day.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any questions as well. Forgot to say that. You could just message us anywhere.
Yep, message us anywhere. We'll message you back and maybe include it in a podcast episode.
Great. Thank you all for listening.
Yep, bye-bye.
Goodbye.